Students, I think it's a wonderful opportunity for you to be part of some history that you can see. When the Baton came to St. Lucia in 2014, I was at that ceremony. And I think more importantly, as the Baton went through at the entrance to your school, some people were shying away from going on to the Baton because maybe in a few months now you'll see the Baton somewhere in Glasgow and you can see I touched that Baton. And that's important why you must not be bashful about doing these things because as Mark told you, you do not know sometimes at your age what your career will be. Somebody may give you a photo of you actually holding the Baton 20 years from now and you can use that for some reason. But this morning, what I really want to say as the Minister for Education and also the parliamentary forecast itself is that the Commonwealth means a lot to us. The Commonwealth is an institution that has served us well in this country, and we recognize the importance of the Commonwealth, not just for education, for sports, for cultural events, and for many, many different events in our lives. I must tell you that it is important for students to know what the Commonwealth means to them, because as a member of the Commonwealth, there are so many benefits that you will get. I have been a beneficiary of 2 Commonwealth scholarships, and so I know what the Commonwealth really means to us. But a lot of the development we see around us, some of it has some Commonwealth influence. And students, the inheritance of a Commonwealth, which is all those countries that for some reason, one way or the other, has something to do with the United Kingdom. This is a very important heritage for us. And I want to thank the Commonwealth Games Association for taking the baton ahead, and also to the George Charles Secondary School.
Dr. Lewis, in his comments, said that you are extremely fortunate in that out of the 108 schools we have in the country, the George Charles Secondary is one of the few schools where the students will have an opportunity to come close to the baton. And he was saying that, of course, brimming with confidence because the school happens to be in his constituency. I have 5 schools in my constituency. I am the sports minister. And can you believe the students in Denrinoff and the Mawia Valley will not get an opportunity like what you have this morning? So you are extremely fortunate, and today you are part of history. But I want to deviate from what he said. As you know, he's the Minister for Education, and he had an education slant to his comments. But as the Minister for Sports, I want to let you know that the government of St. Lucia takes sports very seriously. There was a time in our history where we engaged in sports just to sweat and to kill time, as we see. This is no more. Sport is an avenue for which you can realize your dreams and your goals. And that is why the government continues to spend money to improve the sporting infrastructure in our country. And the Permanent Secretary said a while ago, well, today she is here in the capacity as President of the St. Lucia Olympic Committee, Mrs. Belrose, that in 2017, St. Lucia will be hosting the Commonwealth Youth Games. Now you must be able to make a distinction between the Youth Games and the Senior Games. Later this year, in the summer of this year, 2014, the Senior Games will be held in Scotland. But there's also a junior version to that. And in 2017, the Junior Games will be coming to St. Lucia. And there are a number of things we have to do as a country to ensure that we're ready to host the games and to ensure that we give the Commonwealth family a good impression of St. Lucia. First of all, we will have to refurbish the George Odlum Stadium. As you know, the fire that destroyed St. Jude's a few years ago meant that the hospital had to relocate and they had to operate from the stadium. Hopefully this year, the stadium will be returned to the sports people and we can begin to refurbish. Also, we've given a commitment to the nation, that is the government, that we will be building a brand new aquatic facility in the north of the island to host swimming as one of the sporting disciplines in 2017. Quite apart from that, the Philip Masley Grounds in Viewport is currently being refurbished. The Marshall Grounds is being refurbished. The Larissa's playing field in the Mawia Valley is also being refurbished. And I know the George Charles playing field, although it will not be one of the venues for the Commonwealth Youth Games, but I want to give you an assurance in the presence of the parliamentary rep and college minister that we will be doing some work on the George Charles Secondary School playing field shortly. We have already started the discussion with the CONCACAF, that is the regional body responsible for football. I have seen exchanges between the parliamentary rep and Mr. Howard McIntosh. the development officer for our area. And of course, when we sit down and we look at the resources that are available, you will be seeing some improvement to your facility. But very importantly, you need to take sport seriously. I'm hoping that tomorrow, when we begin the 2014 Inter-Schools Meet, George Charles will be well represented, not just on the tracks, but those of you who are not athletes, you'll be in the stands, of course, accompanied by your teachers and parents, lending support to your colleague athletes. So, congratulations for having been part of today's activity, and best wishes to the entire George Charles family.